from midfield. Here's Rodgers. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, the big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. T.Y. Hilton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The numbers for Cooks in that game last week: 5 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
And you can tell early they're going to look his way quite a bit, and he made himself available on that one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away. And this one's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but They took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Martin on the move to his left. And his throw is incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Off the play fake. Martin rolling to his left. They shakes him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Chris Baker with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
He'll field this at the 5. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Buying time was left. Brandon Gaudin, it's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. To throw is Martin. To throw from his end zone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski.
I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Stacy Coley on the return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Martin now throwing after the interception. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. DeMar Davis, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Martin. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. They're going to try and throw. Fighting through pressure. Sliding out of the... But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Keenan Robinson in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface, but I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. It would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me.
Oh, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Martin out to his left. Whoosh. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2, much more manageable. The Titans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Martin steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Being chased out left. He'll get 8. On the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Check. Watch the ad. Shoot. Watch the safety creep.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
That's how we do it.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A surprising move to go for it. At least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And the Ravens taking the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And this one is right through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Back to throw. Martin, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Derek Kindred there to get a hand on that one.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And it's complete to Kelsey. A big 30-yard play on third. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Martin on 1st down. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. Gets around him, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run, Devontae Freeman. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Rodgers on 3rd down. Complete. He finds Bray. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from the lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now Martin on 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 16 yards there, a Tennessee 1st down.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.